Alright, Chris, I got your radio here you sent in. 6900V, I really like these, but I do have a personal preference for one over this one. I sold a lot of these back in my time, a couple years or so ago. I don't sell them anymore though. My personal preference is this one. It looks very similar, same functionality and stuff. Just this one is exclusive to me in America to sell, so that's why I like it. And I like the way it looks. It's not as bright on the display, it doesn't have that dark blue. It actually is a little easier on the eyes. It's a really good radio. Both are really good radios. There's some newer models out that are based off this, so they might have some more features and stuff, but you know, this one will have some newer features I think next year. There's some hardware changes that have to be made, but I mean, for what it is, it's great for, you know, the basic free banding for those that like to do the free banding. Yeah, you can use it as a ham radio. It's a little bit, you know, there's a learning curve there, but I think that anyone that knows how to use radio should be able to figure that out. Some people are unwilling to really try because they're used to, you know, sitting there with maybe a radio like this, or this one isn't an HF one, but you know, if I had my 7300 up here, it's what it looks like. So if you're used to using these kind of HF radios and you go to something like the CRT or the KPO, you're going to have a hard time because you don't know how to use it. And you're going to blame the radio and say, oh my God, you know, this thing and whatever. But it's just more or less you're not familiar with how the radio works. So some of the ham radio channels, I saw that some of the guys got the new, what is that, the HS4 or something, the Retrievus, however you say that. And they're, oh, it's not a real ham radio and all this stuff. And they just don't know how to use it. And they're making a ton of mistakes on the videos because they just don't know how to use these radios. And it's just simply, don't make the video if you don't know how to use it. If you do, then you can use it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. So, I don't know. I'm a fan of radio no matter what it is. So I can make any radio work. See, however I want to do it, I'll make it work. And if it's not as user-friendly, that doesn't matter. If that's all you have at the time, you make do with what you have. So, I don't know. The world of hand adapters and SDRs and all that have kind of ruined that for people, where they won't use a radio unless it has that. And it's a shame, but I don't want your invoice to show up in here. Sorry, I don't think it did. Cover up some stuff on it, but the main thing to look at here, peak, frequency expansion, alignment, $50. Let's see if they really did anything to it. I'll be able to tell because I got a lot of experience with these. The mic that you want to run with these kind of radios is this mic. It's an excellent sounding mic. It's amplified. I can make it the DX version, which is disabling the RX wire on the 4-pin jack. And these sound excellent with these kind of radios. You run it in the dynamic type, and that's what the default is on this radio anyways, because the mic that they give you is dynamic. So that's the mic to run with any of these 555 plus /N or 555 plus, whatever it is. That's the mic I think everybody should run because they sound outstanding. And a great sounding mic on every radio. It's a great upgrade to a factory mic. And obviously if you're running a different style setup, then something like this is outstanding, you know, a good mic like that or whatever you might like, your preference. But not everybody wants to run that. I have these all over that I run. I've been running one in the car with the Quad 6 Pro. It's been working really good, so I'm happy. Alright, well, let's get this hooked up anyways. And we'll see how she's working. Funny thing here, when I started the video, I was watching a video about the pan adapter option for my TS590 SG. And look what video is up in the... It's literally one of my videos. That's crazy that it's showing up here with all these other ham radio guys. So I think that's the algorithm working, I guess. So I like watching this guy. He's a pretty cool guy. Not sure what this one is. I think it's Martin Lynch or something. And then some other ones here. It's a really fancy radio there. I'll never own one of those in my lifetime. Just too rich for my blood. Alright, Chris. So first thing I notice is where's the alignment? The radio is 10 hertz off frequency. Now, given there's an adjustment for this, and sometimes it's slightly over the 000 by like 5 to 7 hertz, but this is unacceptable in my opinion here for this radio. These radios are much better than this, so they didn't do you anything there. AM RF power, that's about, I think, factory. I don't know, I'd have to pull one of my DX5000 pluses out to look at what the setting is, but I want to say that's factory on both ends. Let's see what kind of, I'm sure it's going to do okay on power, but 1 2 3 1 2 3, yeah, they definitely do some talking. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, hello. Oh, that's all the way down, this is all the way up. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, hello. So you have a setting in here, and I noticed that you have it set to SWR. I'm going to shut that off. Whoops, not timeout timer. And I'm going to go into your menu and show you a different setting. Right here. Now it's going to show you SWR and a numerical value instead of the bar graph. If you like that, you can turn it back on, but so that's the power up all the way. There's sideband. I don't know if you use sideband or not, but that's, you know, they still do good. It's doing good. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, hello. Let's see what it's doing on FM. It's about 40. Alright, so I'm just going to get in and start the alignment because, you know, I want to see the nitty gritty of this and see what you got out of it for the $50. Somewhere out there, the guy that runs that super popular channel, Mountain Forest Labs, he bought like 3 or 4 of these from me at one time. That was pretty awesome. And he gave me a shout out on his video, so hope he's doing well and he's enjoying his radios. But anyhow, we're gonna see about the frequency here and take a look. So yeah, to me that's just, you know, it's unacceptable for what I like to see from these. There we go. That's where it should be. It's literally make one change. So they got the hand out to take the money, but they can't even do you the courtesy of making that simple adjustment. So this is FM power high. So I'm going to set you to 40. It's pretty much there already, but it's good enough. FM power low. I'm going to turn you down to 2, or I'm sorry, to 1. Same setup if I was selling you this, which I no longer sell these, but deviation, we'll take a look at that now. Set this up over here. I'm going to try to, I don't know if these go, I think these might cap out at something, but I don't remember. Depends on how old this is. Some, I think the DX5000 pluses I have now, I think you can go 4 with it, but I can't remember. Each one is, you know, all these radios I have a different firmware in them depending on how old they are. This one I can't say for sure, so, but we'll find out when I test it. So let's see. Inject the signal. 2.82, so that's factory. I know that. Let me turn this up a little bit so that way we can get a higher So I'm going to set it to about 4.2 so we can see here 4.2, and then I'm going to start adjusting this and see kind of where it can go. Right here is the deviation level. Yeah, this cap out at about 3.1. That's okay though. I mean, that's perfect. So you don't always have to go 4. It's going to sound a little bit better than where it was. So I'm actually going to cap it about 3.1. So that's better. I don't know if you talk on FM or not, but if you do, it will sound a little bit better for you. Let me check one more setting here on FM. I'm curious. FM tone is about 2.4. That's okay. AM high power. I'm going to make this 8. Or right around there anyways. There's about right around 8. Low power will be 1. Butterfingers. And when you charge the man money, do the job. I mean, come on, you know. I don't know. Here's going to be our modulation. Let me get that set up down here. Whoop. That's the wrong setting. There we go. 1 kilohertz tone right there. Alright, let me put my oscilloscope back up. Alright, now let's send the tone. Yeah, okay. Well, let's be fair. Let's be fair first. I need to put this low power back up to whatever it was, 2 point something, because obviously I know when I lower that AM carrier that it does take down the modulation percentage a lot. So to be fair, it's close enough, I think, to where it was. Now we're being fair. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt here, and now we'll see kind of what it looks like. So it shows 82%. So they didn't do you any favors on AM modulation. This should be about 95. I'm going to set it at 95 with the 1 watt, but I mean, it's super clean at 82%. There's no question about it, but we can do better than that. So I would never spend my money with these people. I can tell you that much. But I don't call people out or name names or anything because I'm not that type of person. I'm not in competition with them. I do this because I love the radio hobby, not because I want to make money. Usually all the money that I do make, I put right back into the radio hobby one way or another, or into some type of electronics apparatus or something. So I put it back in. And that's because I enjoy what I do so much. Alright. But I understand some people chose this to make a living, and you know, but at least be honest and do things what you say you're going to do it. Alright, so now we're going to move that up to a better level, but I just wanted to be fair. And I'll do the same thing for high power AM. I won't change the dead key, we'll just test it first. So here's our 95% now. We already know we were at a 1 watt carrier, and then with peak power 4 watts, that's good. This is a little out of whack here. This is one of the easiest radios to set up. There you go. Outstanding. So let's look at it in another view here so we can kind of see it. That's what it looks like on this spectrum. Of course, this is what the tone, so this is a perfect scenario. These radios with our voice, it's not a perfect scenario. It's not going to look like this when you speak. It's also not going to look like this when you speak. You might get a little more emphasis up in here with voice, but it will not be as high in this range on the next channel, which is the very center of channel 21 is here. The very center of the RC19A is here. So that's what we're looking at. And it's working good. All right, let's do the high power AM now, just because we want to know how that's sitting. And now I have to do this because the dead key's up a little more. That looks good. Let me just see what that looking like. 50 ohms on the money. My reference is off with just a little bit, so if I want to be picky about it, let's see, 49 dB. There we go, 39.1, 39.05, so maybe like 49.2. That's too much. 49.1. Somewhere close there. It's probably like 49.05. That's about as close as we're going to get. So dBm power, 8 watts a carrier. Right now on that DX5000 Plus too, I got a good price on my website. That you get one of those mics with it for the price of the radio. So I'm kind of throwing in the mic as a gesture there to try to promote the brand a little bit more. And I don't know if a lot of people noticed on the site, but there's a referral. There's an option on the site now that says like friend or referral, and if you buy something and you refer one of your friends, there's a link or something to that. If they buy something, your friend gets 5% off, and so do you on the next order. So that's just something I like to try to give back a little bit if I can. All right, let's check the. So again, it's clean, it's normal, it's stock. Nothing wrong with it, but when you pay for something, you should get it. It really just bothers me when these people are one of the biggest on the internet, and they constantly are showing up on Google whenever you search products, and that's why they get the business they get, because they spend the money to do that level of advertising to put themselves out there where I don't. And that's why I say I'm not in competition, 86%. So I'm a small time operator, and I'm okay with that. .5, so that looks much better, and that looks much better. That's what our peak power is, about 35, and then that's how that looks with the carrier and the modulation. So that's good. All right, we'll move on to sideband. I'm sure that's going to look distorted, as they always do, slightly. These ones I don't think are as bad, but they still have a level of overmodulation usually that I can smooth out. So I think we're good to go. Let me plug that mic. Let me get a drink. Okay, so I can honestly tell you, Chris, that you spent that money and they did absolutely nothing. And I don't want to be brought in between between you and them. I'm not trying to start anything, so don't take what I'm saying as I want to be in the middle of it, because I really don't. I really want no part of that. I'm just telling you from my standpoint here, what I'm seeing is absolutely a factory radio. There's no question about it. So I could hook up one of my DX5000 pluses out of the basement that's brand new in a case that's never been opened, and it's going to look identical to this basically. So because they're the same radio, they get made in the same factory, so they just look cosmetically a little bit different. But anyways, this is why I started doing what I was doing. This is why I started doing this. Number one is because I got tired of throwing my money in the drain with these people that are saying they're going to do things and then they don't do what they say. And then when I had some real basic equipment here, I was able to actually check things myself with my limited understanding that I had back then. But it was enough to know that what I paid for, I didn't get my money. And, you know, whatever. But it put me on this path, so here we are. And again, I'm not in competition with anybody. I do this because I enjoy it, but I also enjoy a lot of other things in life. And this is not my number one thing, so. It's pretty damn close there. I'm going to say that's good. So I'm going to just take a wild guess here on this. I'm going to say that the third order intercept on this is between 16 and 22, and I'm probably wrong, but we'll find out in a minute. 22. Pretty close. So that's not bad, but you can see the waveform is all flat. So we're going to clear that up for you just by doing that. And maybe just a little bit more. All right, that's a lot better. All right. Looks like an egg or something. That's how it should look. And now we're at about 25. So that's technically about 31 or something. That's super clean. This is what you should have paid the original money for. I'm sorry you got to pay some more money, but I can't. I don't spend money to advertise and to sit here and say, don't buy from these guys and don't do this and don't do that, because technically I'm not real competitive, nor do I want to be, or I'm starting going down that ugly road of trying to take people's money and stuff, you know, and all that. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care if somebody else is doing better than me in this stuff, because it's not what I do to put food and keep a roof over my place here. So, but it really, like I say, it bothers me when people get taken advantage of, and I was the number one guy that used to get taken advantage of and stuff, and I don't wanna like every single day I just sit here for hours and hours and hours and hours and do this, because it becomes too much, and I'm not the guy for that. So like when I do say, and I think it's on my website, that I'm very much part-time, I am very much part-time. So some people catch me at the right time, and that's awesome that, you know, I can get stuff in and try to get it out to them pretty quick. But then other times when my personal life gets in the way and stuff, then no, I can't get it done quick, and sometimes I fall behind on website orders and stuff like that. So that's just the nature of the beast. But here's the power anyways on sideband, and this is the spec analyzer here. I think this is what is this, upper side? Yeah, upper side. That's why we're shifting to the right there. 1 2 3 4 5, check check check, hello, 1 2 1 2. So they're usually about 40 to 45, somewhere in there, but it's a nice clean signal. you said that your receive was kind of acting weird, but then when I emailed you, I think it was more you're having an interference thing. I'll check the receive. I have a feeling it's going to work fine. So here's AM 1 2 3 4 5. Check check. You're not going to see like a big amount of extra power or anything. That's not the name of the game here. That's not what I'm doing for you. But I did increase the audio a little bit, and that's what it looks like on the spectrum analyzer. So again, like I said, with voice, it's going to be a little more aggressive. But when you notice on that very far end, left and right of the screen there, it's still well below the 0 dBm line, and that's that like orange color line through the center of the screen. So it's looking good. Now these are pretty hellacious on swing, so as I said before, that's a 1 watt dead key, 1 2 3 4 5, check check, 1 2 3 4 5, and you can see we're hitting like some peaks where the limiter just totally shuts off at times. But the reason, you know, that we're not like splattering over into the next, and let me do this. I need to take that up some. There we go. Lower dead key, I can take that up some. 1 2 3 1 2 3, check check check. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2. We're well below the 0 dBm line, so it's all good. You know, if you look over here, you can see those huge swaths of power there. You see how they go bright yellow? Let me turn on my trigger setting. That's why this radio does that from the low dead key, and you know, it's not really something I get really that I want or really need, but some people like it. Let me get this carrier back in order here so we can actually see it. But just to kind of demonstrate what's going on here, it's about close enough. So let me put my trigger way up here. It should freeze when a swath hits that top trigger mark. It should freeze on the screen. That's kind of what I want to show. Maybe we can put this power meter kind of in the view too, because the two kind of go together. We're at that low dead key, but when you see that really super high swing number, you're going to see that big like whoosh kind of thing here. There's the carrier, 1 2 1 2. It didn't really freeze on it, but you can see that there. Whoa. 1 2 3 1 2 3, check check check. I think I need to put the trigger actually up higher because you have to go over it. Maybe if I put the trigger way up to the top, I might have to actually shrink it down. But anyways, you can see in real time that sometimes when you see that number up in the 30s and stuff, that's usually the same thing you see on the oscilloscope, is like it shoots way up, and that's because of that high swing that these radios offer. And that's not really something that's really great, but it's not really that bad either, because you're not bleeding the energy into the next channel. What happens is it gets a little more aggressive towards the center of the frequency that you're on and stuff, so it's way more aggressive there, you know, by doing it like that. But they sound awesome on the air and stuff, so it's not really a big deal. But I just wanted to try to show that. Again, I kind of prefer the other kind of radios, but I guess the people that like to run amplifiers and stuff, they like that. So to each his own on what you like. I'm going to put my software in it. It's going to give you a couple features, and I'll show you that when I come back. All right, real quick. Band A, you got your Muppets or the UK40. Now, if you want to use these, you're going to have to do that yourself. You're going to have to take all the digits and make it the 5 on the end, because it's going to come with the software at 00. I don't know if you're going to use that or not, but that's pre-programmed into my file. So you can put the R and the T together on the clarifier if you need to make it easy. You can do that right from the menu of the radio. D band, you're gonna have 60 now, I think. And this is all stuff they could have done for you too if they really truly cared about giving you a little bit more for your money. So now you're going to go all the way up with no gaps to 27605 on D band. And you can change any of these if you want to. You don't have to keep it. E band is just the normal 40. F band, I put this in 10 meters, so you kind of have sequential going up 10 kc all the way to 500. And that's pretty much it for that. Options and features. SWR Protect is enabled. That's 3-to-1. It'll show it on the display. That's that setting I already changed. I give you a HR 2510 sound and Roger beep if you want to use it. If you don't, you can change it here in the software. If you don't have the software, a good website to go is Knights in the UK. His website has a downloadable software option where you can find a lot of software, especially for these European radios. He has all of them because this is a popular radio over in Europe, so that's a good place to find it. I'm actually going to put you to R and T together. That way you can, decide for yourself later what you want to do. You can always reset this stuff if you want to, but that's up to you. Other than that, it's pretty much, not too much craziness going on here. I'm going to write this to the radio. This one's really fast to send. It goes pretty darn quick. Screen's flaking out on that blue color. It doesn't know where to look. There it goes. So it's done. So A band, see how they're all like, you'd have to go like this and then make them all the 5. I'm not going to do that for you. If you want them all like on the UK40, then you can do that. Otherwise, just don't worry about it. But right now it's set. Right now the setting, when you turn something on, it's on all frequencies. You can switch that though if you don't like that in that software. You can make it where each individual will have its, like if you say you wanted the Roger beep on here, but here you didn't, you can customize it like that. So, but I leave it like that just because I think most people run it just kind of like, if you want it on, it's on everywhere. Let's see if we can't hear that Roger beep really quick. So to hear the Roger beep through the speaker, you just hit function and beep, and then it puts the little chime on. Otherwise it's off. But the BP is not the Roger beep, that's RB. So that's what it sounds like if you want to run it. If you don't, just switch her off. The echo is on. I like these because the echo's in the front, so they got some smooth sound and echo. 1 2 1 2 3 check check. Sorry about the squeal, but I got my base radio on the side. I think actually the antenna is not on it, so we'll switch that off. That works fine. One thing I wanted to check, doesn't happen very often, but I have seen some of these where the NRC doesn't work. Oops, I went past it. No, I didn't. Yours works. Okay, that's fine. I have seen it. It doesn't happen a lot. But once in a while I've seen it. Luckily, there was a couple customers that didn't care about that, and I was able to sell them at a discount to them without the NRC. I actually had one where the TXRX light stayed yellow the whole time. Yours doesn't do that, so that's good too. Alright, let me check out your receiver, and then that's going to be it. I think it's going to work fine, though. Actually, yeah, we'll just do a quick sensitivity test, and then I'll put this on my antenna. We'll just have a quick listen. If you guys watch my channel, if you watched the video yesterday for Gary with his striker, these are the knobs that I was talking about that I put on the striker. And it was one of these knobs that went on the mode selector, and a couple guys got upset about it when it didn't line up perfectly. But man, I still think these knobs look outstanding on that striker. So that's, I guess some people just didn't care for it. And that's why I stopped getting them for them, because cosmetically, I think it's a big upgrade in look. It's got a really good AM receiver. That's minus 114 right there. Let's check it out on S9 again. I could do a sweep. Actually, let's do a sweep if we can. We'll do sweep on. We'll do frequent. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. We're not going to hear anything way up there. Whoops, sorry about that. Okay, stop sweeping. Hang on a second. Alright, so I'm just doing a sweep. I'm starting the sweep at 26.96 and stopping the sweep at 27.405. So it's channel 1 to channel 40. This is a RF sweep of the signal and an S9 signal. These radios, it's minus 67. It shows S9 on these radios. It's radio set to 205. You can see it goes pretty quick, but this is an S9 signal that would be present all the time. It's just sweeping in frequency. So if we were to try to follow it, you know, we could, although it's going quick. It's got to get up here first to the 20s, but here it comes. I'm going a little too fast. So you could follow it if you wanted to, but there's no issue with receiver interference on adjacent frequencies. I mean, I can stop this. I can stop the sweep and just show you kind of a little bit slower. Let me get out of this mode. And so it'd be your S9. Sorry about that. So let's go to channel 21. So there's channel 21. Transmitting on 21. The radio's picking up channel 20 still. So there's no issue with anything major, like reception wise, that there's like, it's not filtering out signals. Now if I increase the amplitude here, there's 30 dB. So of course we're going to hear a little, why is the auto squelch on? That's highly annoying. We need to get rid of auto squelch. Did I turn that on somehow inadvertently? I probably did. I'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, we don't want that. Oh, my mic. Sometimes this mic's a little flaky, so I need to look at the plug. The auto squelch is enabled by the mic, the factory mic, so nothing to worry about there. But so at an S30 signal, I'll go up to 21. It's a super strong signal. It's only 30% modulation, but we're still not even really picking up that much of that signal, either side of it. So there's no issue with the receive here at all. It's working absolutely fine. So you can put it on the antenna just real quick. I'll try to make a contact if I can.
In northern part of Italy, into the countryside of Cremona, and my name is Stefano. Thank you for contact. Alpha Charlie 5 Lima, India, Zulu 2, Zulu, Sierra Foxtrot. Thank you very much, 73. Okay, I will try again if some station from Dakota, copy, North Dakota or South Dakota, anyone?
I'm out in the countryside, about 30 kilometres southwest of the city of Bath, which is Bravo Alpha Tango Hotel Wayne.
It doesn't matter if this doesn't line up. We only look here on amateur radio. We don't care what this says. So this is a non-factor. If this radio had a true VFO mode, this wouldn't show anything. It would probably be like a VF logo or something. So, you know, if you know how to use the radio, like I said, you can use it. So. Sounds like a lot of Italy coming in. I'm pointing to the west, so I'm getting them on the wrong path. November 8, Mexico, Japan, sugar. A little bit of QSB. I didn't hear him respond to anybody.
Victor, Fox, Fox. Again. Ball 6, Victor, Fox, Fox. G6, Victor, Fox, Fox. 5 and 7. QSL 59, 73. Delta India Tango. Delta India Tango. Again. Echo American 5. Echo American 5. Delta India Tango. Over. Echo Alpha. Delta India Tango. 5 and 7.
That's about as high as we'll go in frequency, so. November 8, Mexico, Japan, Sierra. Mexico, Japan, Sierra. November 8, Mexico, Japan, sugar. Let me see if I can point my antenna maybe a different direction. November 8, Mexico, Japan, Sierra. That's my wire antenna. November 8, Mexico, Japan, Sierra. Yeah, he doesn't hear us. That's sometimes the way it goes. So anyways, this is a long one, Chris, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll put you back here on the mid band. And I think you were somewhere, I don't know where you were, somewhere like in here or something. So I'll let you figure out from here. So thanks a lot. I'm going to send you over an invoice and get this squared away. 73, and I hope you enjoy the radio just a little bit more. Sorry about the other guys, but that's the way it goes sometimes, you know. Unfortunately, I tend to care more probably than others, but you know, again, this isn't my main thing. So you would think that those that this is their main thing, they would care the most. 73. Take care.